Okay, guys,
Hello.
welcome to the first ever Sim Sundays. And if you see Tom smiling over there, it's because 10 seconds ago, I go, oh, by the way, you're the founder of Grid Finder, so you are going to do the intro for us. And he was like, wait, what? No, I'm not going to do it. No. And I took it from him anyways. Hey, Tom, how's it going? Did I make you nervous, buddy?
You did. And then we did that classic thing where we both said hello at exactly the same time, and then I panicked, and now I'm in a tiz, and it's our first episode. Chris,
You got a little bit of sweat building up on your brow. You're
I have a little
nervous a little bit. Well, this is going to be a fun little thing. So you and I have been talking about the possibility of creating a podcast for Grid Finder for some time, actually. And I think we even mentioned it back in the days when we were doing the live streams for like Grid Finder Beta and like what's coming up in Grid Finder 2 and stuff like that, if I remember correctly. It's finally come to reality, I guess I'd say. How do you feel?
Yeah, I feel good. It's a nice test. We're gonna scope this out. We're gonna see how people find it. We're gonna invite people along to some races. We're gonna chat about sim racing, and we're just gonna go with the flow. We're gonna grow it slowly over time.
Yeah, it's a little more formal than your old pop into, what did you always play? F1 2021, I think, back in the day when I used to watch you all the time. So
Right.
It's a little more structured and, we actually have to come up with conversation instead of you just going, oh, wow, I took that corner like rubbish.
Like rubbish, which was 90% of my conversation was me trying to justify why I had either just crashed into somebody or something.
Well, you know what's funny about the rubbish and a bunch of UK-isms, as my wife calls them? Ever since I've started working with you, because we've been working together for, a year and a half-ish now, probably, I've started to adopt some of your lingo from the UK, and it kind of drives her nuts once in a while. She's like, why did you start saying those words, like rubbish and stuff? And I'm like, well, I blame it on Tom. It's probably Tom's fault.
Yeah, that's a safe bet. What's your favorite / her least favorite Englishism?
Well,
Britishism?
it still bugs me to say holiday instead of vacation. And I find myself like switching between them without even like consciously making an effort to switch between them. But I'll say holiday and my wife's like, it's not a holiday. It's not like Easter or anything. We're just going on vacation. I'm like, oh, it's the UK thing.
Yeah, everything is a holiday. We don't say vacation. Vacation sounds a lot like vocation, which is a very different thing. In fact, it's almost
Right.
the opposite thing.
Right. This is very true. Well, this is obviously not just going to be about us and, our lives and things. It's going to be a lot about Grid Finder, a lot about sim racing. We're going to try to stay away from motorsport, but you over there, the lucky dog that you are actually making that transition from sim racer over to motor racer. Is that the right
Motor
term?
sport.
Motor
Drive?
racing? Anyway, moving on. But there's a lot of stuff going on in the sim world right now. Well, I say a lot of stuff, and I mean there's a lack of things, but a lot of news. So, like, we have the F1 2022. I still want to say 2021 for some reason. Or wait, is that 2023 coming out?
It's 2022. It's 2022, Chris. It's 2022.
Right.
But
So
obviously,
that's
the
coming out
2022
soon.
season is now almost old news. So we're about to launch the F1 2022 game.
That's
well
why
after the F1 2022 season.
I kind of want it to be like cars. You know how, like, when a new car is released, it's the next year. It'll be the 2023
Right.
Ford Escort or whatever. I don't know.
What
why
a
I went with
choice of
Escort.
car.
Why did I
The
go
Ford
with
Escort.
Well, that was technically my first car I ever had. I had a bright lime green hatchback Escort that I drove around. Manual transmission.
Damn.
I thought I was hot because I was like the only kid driving manual transmission around, and I'm like, yeah, in my sweet Escort hatchback.
And how much effort did it take you to call it manual instead of stick shift?
Actually, I've always called it manual. It's just kind of been that for me. I don't know why.
It's pretty cool.
I guess so. See? Yeah.
So a lime green Ford Escort, that I would say that probably trumps my silver and rust 1996 0.9 liter Fiat Punto, which was my first car.
You probably were faster than me because my car weighed more because of the hatchback and the giant piece of glass that was on the back of it. So you'd probably beat me off the line and probably even in the quarter, I'd bet.
Yeah.
And you save some weight by the rust spots because they eat away at the bodywork. So,
Maybe we should make that one of our future races when we invite people along to these races so they can race with us. We'll have half of the grid in silver and rust Fiat Pintos. We'll get one of our great livery designs. We'll ask Boonatics and we'll say, right, here's the brief, right? We want a Fiat Punto, but we want you to make it look rubbish.
Like as ugly as possible. That would be fabulous.
Silver, but like faded silver with some like sun staining bits, and then like a little orange dabs down the bottom where the rust is.
If he can do it, make it look like there's a primer bumper. Like we started to patch it up and it's just primered.
we can get some duct tape around it.
Yeah,
patch it up.
So
and then we could cover these cars. I'm off on one now, but we could cover these cars in like all of the worst car stickers you've ever seen in your life. So like, if you can read this, you're too close to the back of my car.
I like it. And you said I'm off a bit right now, but one of the things that you and I always talked about when we were just having our random conversations, whether it be about Grid Finder, whether it be just us hanging out in a voice chat, we've always been able to kind of keep the conversation going. And by that I mean for 4 hours on random subjects, where we started with Grid Finder and somehow ended up into like your history in the Royal Navy and all kinds of craziness. And we just go all over the place. And one of the harder things I think for us is going to be keeping it like on the rails and not just going off on some random tangent, kind of like we just did with the whole rusts of your first car ever. And
I'm making notes. I think those are great ideas, but we do have a saving grace in terms of keeping us on track, and that's the fact that our future episodes will feature a guest. So we'll be doing less talking, we're doing more asking of questions, and we can kind of navigate the conversation where we want it to go, and then seamlessly segue into race with guest. That's the plan.
That's the plan, right? That's the ultimate plan, is to just, I don't know. It's obviously a Sunday social thing because it's Sim Sunday. Well, it's Sim Socials. It was Sim Sunday Socials. It's Sim Sundays. Kind of goes all over the place there, but it's it's a podcast style hangout with a couple of guests and some of the staff from Grid Finder and things like that. So obviously, if there's some people out there listening at the moment that would like to be a guest on the show, get in contact with us through the Discord, just gridfinder.com/Discord. And one of my favorite things is that you heard I didn't say grid-finder.com. We got the real gridfinder.com now. So I don't. The old one just went to like a landing page, and now it's finally us. And,
right. We've made it.
We've made it. We're big time now.
We had to pay big to this horrible domain squatters, but it's worth it.
It's a weird business strategy, right?
Yeah, we don't want to talk about that.
So, Tom, sim racing. I want to know, what was your first dive into sim? What was your first try on sim racing?
Talkatoo. And I was probably 9. And I would say 80% of the laps I completed on Talkatoo were in reverse, and not reverse track. I mean, the opposite way to the way the other cars were going, because when
you were 9, like,
that's fun.
I'm going to ram everyone straight in the front bumper. Yep.
Exactly right, because I did not appreciate the art and finesse of racing. And I wonder if Talkatoo would allow you to appreciate that. Maybe not. Who knows? But I didn't try. I just thought cars, crash, fun. Maybe I didn't make the most of that opportunity. People look back and talk about Talkatoo with these kind of like doughy eye, like rose-tinted nostalgia. And say, oh, those were the days. That was when sim racing was real, man. And if we played it now do you remember was it the PlayStation or PlayStation 2? Because I'm trying to remember now, and I think maybe the PlayStation, because they didn't have the thumbsticks, right? So you just had a D-pad. So it was literally left or right. You couldn't. Yeah, there was no scale.
I want to say it was PlayStation 1 that they released the first DualShock controller with the dual analog sticks. I feel like it was PlayStation 1, and the only reason I feel like that is because the PS2, the default color of that was black, and the first DualShock controller I ever got was the classic PlayStation 1 gray.
Yeah.
And I think the PlayStation 2 released with the DualShock controller as well, the DualShock 2, I believe. So I'm pretty sure it was a PlayStation 1 that had the original analog sticks that changed everyone's life. First-person shooters changed forever. Like, racing games changed. Everything just changed forever when you're like, wait, I don't have to, like, on or off. I can, like, kind of pull the stick a little bit, and wow, this is fun.
Did the Xbox have the same thing? Did the Xbox was the first original Xbox, was that a D-pad, or did that come straight out of the traps with a stick?
The very first original Xbox came with what they now call the Duke controller, the gigantic. Right. I don't know who in the world this controller was made for, because it was about as big as this sim racing wheel here, and it had the analog sticks. And that was the first time we got a controller with the offset sticks that I remember, where it had the left stick on top, D-pad on bottom, and then the right stick was on the bottom, and the buttons were on top.
Oh,
unlike PlayStation,
Nintendo
where
64, which had an even weirder system where you had three places to put your hands.
Yeah,
but most people I've played with have only two hands. Whoever designed that, I would like to be a fly on the wall in that room, and they're like, no, there's 3 spots because you're going to use this one or this one. It's not going to be a 2 situation where you switch your hands, because that's where everyone learned that you have to do that weird like thumb movement to push the D-pad on this side, because games, well, they used it for other miscellaneous things like changing weapons and stuff. But I don't know who thought that up. But the Duke was the first one for the original Xbox, and it was gigantic, and it had analog sticks. And I played so much Halo on that thing. That one thing that bugged me about Microsoft, and this is all of a sudden turning into like a video game podcast now, but I didn't like the fact that the Duke controller had the white and the black button for Xbox. I believe it was on the top, and then they swapped it, or they swapped the placement on the next edition of the controller. And it always drove me nuts. I'm like, why'd you change the button layout of your own stuff? Stop it. Just to get inside your head, Chris. And it's worked, because 20 years later, all you can think about is the placement of those buttons. Chris, do you remember a week ago when we were discussing this stream, and we were discussing, do we need to make a list of things to talk about? Because what if we run out of things?
Well, hold on. We is a very loose term there. You were like, what are we going to talk about? I'm like, I don't know. We'll get on the mic and just start talking and talk about randomness.
I was like, minute 4, we will discuss R Factor 2 DLC. Minute 7, we will talk about F1 2022 cross-gen, not cross-play. Minute 9. Now we're talking about Halo.
You gave me 3 topics, and I go, that's like 2.5 hours worth of content right there. Mm-hmm. I'm like, we'll hit a couple things. We'll do our typical random conversation that we do, but
this is why we need guests, so we can maintain a focus.
Rein us back in. The guest is like the control piece for us, so that we don't just go off the rails.
Yeah, I don't know if you can tell, but just before we started this, I was like, right, I'm going to pep myself up. I've had a long day. I was go-karting with Mike, who is...
You get to do all the fun things. I get to play on the sim rig. You race cars now. You race go-karts. You're like, I'm so busy this weekend. I got to go to Donington and race. Oh no.
It's just the life that I lead. It's all for the greater good.
And I'm like, I'm going to throw some laps together in AC this weekend.
Well, this might have paid off for you tonight, because I think I've done a grand total of about 45 minutes of practice on these minis. And they are not an easy car to drive. It's not like the Clios or the little enduro car thing that we practice on AC, where it sticks to the ground. You take your foot off the accelerator with just the tiniest bit of wheel, and you are, So it took me about 7 laps to work that one out, but I think here's a question. And I meant to ask you this yesterday. Not that I'm competitive, but in practice, what times were you hitting, Chris?
The best I was able to throw together so far is a 101.539.
Ooh.
I haven't gotten under a minute yet. Now, I will admit, it's been a long time since I've used the H shifter on the sim. So I'm having a little bit of a problem where, like, my mind goes, you need to throw the clutch in, shift down, and brake. And then I left foot brake and go, I don't have a foot for the clutch. And then I pop it out of gear and have to hit the clutch again, and all kinds of things are all over. But it's comfortable.
There is an obvious issue, and Mike, I know you're listening. If you're on the mic, feel free to chip in here. But looking at Chris's setup right now, what is the obvious issue with Chris's shifter?
Oh, God. You mean it's on the correct side?
It's on the wrong damn side, Chris. This is a mini. You can't drive with it on that side. That's why you're slower. If you put it on the other side, I guarantee you will automatically be 2 seconds a lap faster.
If I had to shift with my left hand, I guarantee I'd be like, I don't even know where the gears are. So I have a question for you, actually. I've always wondered this about the fact that the gear shifter's on the other side, and I've just never known. Is one farthest away from you, or is it close to you? So does it start at the right and go 1, 2, and then 3 is further to the left?
Why do I have to think about this? 1 is furthest away. So 1 is furthest away.
So your gears are in the same.
Closer.
Your gears are in the same configure. Okay, same transmission and everything. I never knew that answer because, like ours, the first gear is closest to our body, and then the highest gear is farthest from our body.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah, it's exactly reverse.
Nope.
And I guess so that would help a little bit because I actually had it, like I convinced myself that it was flipped, not only on the opposite side, but also flipped so you're going the opposite direction
that would make sense.
Gears too. So that's what I always
I don't think I've ever driven a manual car with the shifter on the wrong side.
I like how you even changed your accent for it.
I know. I feel incredibly self-conscious every time I do an American accent.
That's
because
okay.
The first thing is I call it an American accent. What the hell is an American accent?
Yeah, we
There's
have
about
like
1,000 American accents.
Million of them, right?
I think I do my generic American TV accent. That's probably the more technical term for it.
You probably do like the TV announcer style, just very kind of universal across the United States style pronunciations of everything. I've been told that I have an accent, but of course I've lived with it my whole life, so I don't feel like it. And then everyone around me in Ohio, they all kind of speak the same. There's not really any thick dialects or anything like that here because, well, it's Ohio.
Well, I live in Newcastle with this accent, so I feel
Is that what most people sound like in Newcastle too?
Nope.
No?
Absolutely not.
Okay.
In fact, the only two people that you've ever... How weird, Pet. The only two people that you've ever spoken to who live in Newcastle are two people who sound nothing like anybody who lives in Newcastle.
So I would come visit you guys and be like, do you guys live here? What? Why do you sound different than everyone else? What's going on here? That's kind of funny.
The locals ask me that.
They're like, you're not from here. What are you talking about? Where are you really from?
Right.
Oh, so these minis, I actually have a lot of fun with them, but I did notice, because you're on the paddles, right?
Yeah, so that's kind of cheating. But I have had to use the clutch, and using a clutch with paddles is very odd.
It is very odd, and then if you don't use the clutch, the paddles shift so slow. Mm-hmm. You can count to 3 in between the gear shifts if you don't use the clutch with the minis. So that's also why I wanted to switch to the stick shift.
The stick shift.
There you go. That's why I wanted to switch to it because I don't know. I can't make my mind work using a clutch and paddles for some reason. Like I've tried and it just doesn't work.
Okay, so I think maybe throughout this series of podcasts over the next however many years we do this, we should try and get every combination of car that's actually in sim with paddles but drive it with H pattern or sequential versus car that actually meant to have a sequential but we're going to drive it with an H pattern. Then we're going to switch yours from the right hand side to the left hand side.
Well, the only bad part is that I'd have to make another mounting solution for it. Sorry, it's hot out, so I keep the door open. But because I like built this shifter mounter thing out of wood, and I'd have to mount it on the other side to my desk because it screws into the desk and all kinds of craziness. I don't know. I went all out on this setup, but it's fun.
Yeah.
So what time do you want to get into the actual race? We're at about 20 minutes in. Do you want to throw some practice together, or you just want us to dive in, qualify in first and second, and then just win?
Yeah, right. Well, there's another 10 minutes of practice. So if we did another 10 minutes of practice right now, that would increase my total practice amount by 25%.
Nice.
So I could do some practice. Are you ready for practice?
I'm ready whenever you're ready. I'm
ready.
I'm just hoping that I don't spin out and then have a crappy race the whole entire time, but I'm ready whenever.
We can spin out together, Chris. You and I holding it up at the back.
We'll just be the two. We'll be be Ricardo and Saints.
Right.
In the last race.
Ricardo,
who's going to get out of the sand though? Oh yeah,
Oh,
Saints.
yeah. Science.
Right. Yeah, we call them Saints in America. I don't know why.
I suppose it's kind of spelt like saints.
It is.
Science
There's
almost
a
sounds
lot
a bit
of-
German.
It does.
Like Rudolf Sainz. Kind of
What?
Anyway.
What
I
are you
don't know.
talking? Anyway, okay. So
Let's do some practice.
yeah, let's get into some practice. Tom actually does have to switch over to his other rig because he's gonna obviously not be sitting there driving with a keyboard. Although that's how I started my sim racing career in a long time ago, is just with keys. But anyway, that's for another time. So
And what
we're going
about-
to yeah.
What about you drive left and right with the keyboard, but you also have a H pattern shifter?
What are you talking about?
So you can steer the car with the ASDW or WASD, right?
Oh,
but you
man.
have to have a full-on like H pattern shifter to change gears, and you have to press, I don't know, Z as for your clutch.
That sounds like the worst experience ever.
Okay. Next time.
Okay, so we're gonna take a quick 2-minute break so Tom can get all set up in his rig, and then we'll be right back, and we're gonna actually be doing some practice, and we'll see how we do. So we'll be right back.
All right.
Okay, are you ready, Tom?
I am
Kind of.
ready. I actually had a lightning fast transition, so I am just going into Graham Hill Bend right now. I've managed to get an extra 10 seconds of practice over you, Chris. Not that I'm competitive at all. already scoped out the fastest time so far on the server. What did you say your time was?
101.
101 what?
Fastest. 101.54 something. So I see
Well, the
529 over
fastest,
there.
101.529. So you're up on the front row so far.
Well, hold on. That is the fastest I've ever put together, and I probably ran 50 laps the other day.
Right.
So.
Oh, hello. Is that you? Did you just come out of the pits?
I did.
This track is beautiful.
It really
we
is.
We actually have Gridfinder will be racing in the 4KA in the brilliantly named IndyCar 500 towards the end of the year. So Indy KA as in IndyCar, and then it's 500 laps.
That's funny because I was like, wait, you're gonna drive an Indy car?
Yeah, it's like an Indy car, but smaller and slower and cheaper.
How much did that KA actually cost the Gridfinder team? Is that something you want to share?
Well, we didn't actually buy it, so it's provided to us for the season for a very reasonable price by a company called Graves Motorsport.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Excellent arrive and drive packages for teams, but they also allow you to livery it up. So if you haven't seen the Gridfinder livery on our 4KA, it is fantastic. The livery just shows up so much on the track. We got a lot of people commenting on it when we were driving around Donington.
So the cool thing about KA is that they're broadcasting it, so like I can watch you guys.
Yes.
And you guys got so much camera coverage on the last race that I watched.
Yes,
that's the one where Toby did the spin out.
Yeah, which was probably the one bit that wasn't covered.
Server
also,
communication.
Not that it was.
Who's this 33? Is this you?
I think I am 2 ahead of you. It's David. Oh, it's David. I did not realize David was driving. Hello, David. Whoa! These cars look so funny. I can't remember what color my car is. I tried to select the khaki one, but I think I've got a light blue one. But they all look incredible.
I think I have a blue one as well.
Oh, look at you two side by side during practice.
I'm doing it. We full send no matter what. Oh, he's gonna get me. Nope. I'm still on.
Oh, you're catching me.
Power sliding, seriously, every single time I power slide, I'm thinking Jason Bourne.
I've never seen Jason Bourne.
Jason Bourne #1. He drives a Mini, and he's just power sliding around. I think it's London or Paris.
Oh, does he actually?
Yeah, and he's actually in there. It's in Paris, okay. And he's trying to get away from obviously the cops and all that stuff. And it's just every single time, I just in my mind I hear the little theme song, and I'm like, I'm Jason Bourne.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that film. I haven't seen that in ages.
I watch it probably about once a month. It's one of those movies that there's a collection of about 15 different movies that when I'm working, I'll just like throw them up on one of my other monitors as like background noise. Because like they're the movies that I don't have to watch to know exactly what's going on.
Right. And do you tend to kind of stick to driving films or any kind of film?
Any kind of film. Ooh, what color car are you? Are you in the blue one in front of me right now?
Oh, yes, I am. I'm in the blue one
too.
Behind David. Yeah, it's because I forgot to shift up. I'm about to get him now.
Oh, no.
Oh,
we're all off-roading.
Do you know one of my favorite driving films I haven't thought about in ages, but it's just come to my head when you were talking about Jason Bourne there, is, do you ever see the first Transporter film with Jason Statham?
Oh, all of the Transporter films are fabulous. I actually really like Jason Statham. Oh, God.
Okay, well, that is the exact opposite point to the point I was about to make, which was the first one was incredible. All the rest were rubbish.
I like Jason Statham films because they don't require me to care about the story. I'm just like, oh, yeah, watch the driving, watch the fighting, watch the action.
Okay, yeah,
I
get that.
Don't care about anything else.
Oh, these cars are just so all over the place, but you can just kind of embrace it.
Yeah, it's who said it where if you're not a little bit out of control, you're not going fast enough? That is basically
Right.
these cars completely. My
They also
best
have
time
quite a
103 so
strange
far.
noise, don't they? They sound a bit odd. It's like a weird kind of whining noise. It's almost like they sound electric.
I'd agree with that 100%.
I've actually had to put the gear shift overlay onto my screen so that I can see when I'm going up a gear, because I'm not kind of clicking with the audio in this car, so I'm not being able to work out when I'm about to need to shift up. Oh, the 4KA is currently on green.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
the beautiful livery. Is it
Right.
livery or livery?
It's livery.
Okay.
Oh, Dave's got off. He's got off. Oh, did he go back? Sorry, David. It was paddock hill bed. There's no way on earth I was going to be able to control that.
Well, if you and I have
Antonio Correa, I really recognize that name. And Tom O'Farrell, I recognize that name too. We've got some people I recognize in the server. Oh, okay, so we've got some pros in the server.
Uh-oh. And then
That's
you got
not
us.
Keeping it interesting at the back. I feel a little bit bad for David.
Just don't do it during the race. It's only practice. It's all good.
That's true. That is true.
And it's a social race. Do it anyways. Just call it Wreckfest.
We should do Wreckfest at one point. When we grow this... whoa, hello. We grow this podcast, we'll start doing some votes for which game to play next week. How are you getting on, Chris?
I feel like I could catch you, but I'm just not... I'm not driving very well at the moment.
So, are you essentially
slightly
saying
pulling
that
out.
if you were going faster, you think you might be catching me?
If I could put together my 101, I think I'd get you. That might happen.
101 is still the fastest. Luckily, we've got a little bit of time in qualifying here.
How long did you set the qual for?
10 minutes, I think. Oh, okay.
What did I get? 103.29 is my best. What did you get? What do you... Oh, where's the...
So we've got, congratulations to David Ottervrel, pole with a 101.52.
Nice.
Antonio Correa with a 101.54. So it's going to be close at the front. David Christie with a 101.8. That is pretty impressive. And then I'm coming in P4 at 102.4. So 6/10 behind David. And then you, Chris, with a 103.0. So another 6/10 behind me. And then we've got Fulvio Phoenix. We've got with a 202, and then we got Tom O'Farrell, who's surely not 30 laps. No, that's not laps. That's ping. Okay, 30 ping. That makes more sense. He's on a 243.
Oh, yeah.
That is what I. That is all I saw. So let's see if we can turn that into a into quali.
Okay, let's see. Let's just don't take anyone out, right?
Have you seen the fuel to lap ratio here?
No.
2 liters. So 10 liters of fuel is 25 laps. I suppose it kind of makes sense because it's so small. So I'm gonna put in like...
Yeah, it probably has like a 2-liter gas tank, right?
So yeah, 4 liters of fuel will actually take me all the way to the end of this session. Right, let's do this.
Well, maybe it's it's a hybrid. That's what that sound is from.
Yeah, that would kind of make sense. I wish I had the acceleration of a hybrid.
You put tire blankets on, so we have perfect tires already.
Oh, well, you're welcome, Chris. Don't say I never give you anything.
When I was doing my practice runs, it's like 2 laps worth of driving hard to get them to warm up.
Oh, so it didn't apply in practice. It only applied in qualifying. Interesting. Oh, yeah, that does feel so different. All right. Okay. Here we go.
Are there multiple tire options? I didn't even check that.
Nope. Just the old Dunlops.
Quality.
Yeah. Here we go.
Whoa.
You guys look like you're all quite close up there.
I don't think, I think I'm behind you, aren't I?
You're 13 seconds ahead of me.
Oh.
But now...
I cannot figure out this corner. I don't know why, but we'll get there. I like racing not supercars. Like, I've been doing so much F1 recently that the first couple laps in this car, I was like, wait, I actually have to drive this. I can't just, like...
yeah, point and shoot.
Yeah. Because F1 cars kind of feel like, I mean, they're easy to drive because they're crazy good.
On the sim.
Well, yeah. Whoa, now. I didn't think I had to qualify that. I'm not next up for Lando's seat.
Next year, Grid Finder Formula 1 team. That's what I heard.
I mean, as long as I can get in the paddock somewhere, I'm good. Like, I don't even need to be part of the actual race. I just want to be over there. Getting the... What's that thing called? The President's Club or Paddock Club? Or I don't know. I was watching a YouTuber and he was in there and it just looked amazing. So jealous.
Brushing shoulders with the drivers.
Oh, you've been it? Oh, I'm so jealous. Oh, man, I want to so bad. I almost went to Miami, but the ticket prices here were just astronomical, being the first one ever.
Yeah, I bet. I bet it'd be awesome, though.
Yeah. My wife, she told me I could go, and I was just going to go by myself with a bunch of cameras. And then when I told her the price, I was like, I just don't think I can feel okay by spending that much money.
All right, how you doing, Chris?
102.3.
Nice.
So far.
I think I'm about to get into the 101s.
Generally
101.9.
speaking, you're a faster driver than me at the moment. Pretty much in all the cars, you're a little bit quicker than I am.
I think I'm just doing a lot of driving, both real and sim at the moment. I'm getting into a bit of a flow. Oh my god, have you seen the time of Tom O'Farrell?
No.
God.
What did he hit?
An outrageous time. He's 3 seconds faster than everyone else. 4 seconds faster.
What?
He didn't set a time in practice.
Did you give him the wrong mini?
Maybe. So
57 seconds. He's disqualified. Kick him.
We're not having any of that on this podcast. Thank you very much.
He is too good for this social.
Okay.
That's good. I'll listen.
Okay.
What do we got here? 4 from Tom.
Oh, the understeer is real. The understeer is real. Understeer. Bye, Apex. Oh no, who's just overtaking me there? Otterville. Oh my goodness. Oh! Oh, yikes. Right. Try and take on board some of those learning points for this next lap.
I don't think
I'm
I
in
needed to
P6.
there.
Chris, you've overtaken me into P5.
I'm working on it.
Woo!
man, the moment you start sliding, you just go in a straight line. It's hilarious. This kind of makes me want to race these classic minis on a dirt track. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, that would be cool. Mini rally. Oh, that must exist. I don't know why I say must. I don't know if it's a given.
Yeah, we should do some rallying too. I enjoy it a lot. It's just I'm terrible at it. It's more about the fun factor on that one. I don't try to beat anyone.
Yeah.
If I go around a corner and I transition correctly, I'm like, oh, yep, I'm amazing. But I'm in last place. I'm amazing.
Oh, I tell you what, I'm getting competitive now, Chris. This is bad. We got David in P2, 4.2 seconds. And then there's only 6 tenths back to me and 2 tenths between everyone.
I think you can get it.
I'm going to try.
You'd probably already be there if you put some more laps in during the week, you know?
Yeah, that is very true. Tom O'Farrell, 4.2 seconds ahead. That's crazy. How is he doing that?
One of these days, when all of Grid Finder's like features and product dreams are alive, it'll be really cool when you can like have different splits for people in games just based on their Grid Finder history.
That'd be cool.
You know?
Ooh. So did I. I've got 4 liters of fuel and new tires, and I am struggling.
Oh, I went straight out of the pits. I didn't configure anything, so probably a full gas tank or something.
It's an open setup. I have done absolutely nothing to my setup.
That's something that me as a sim racer I need to get better at. I never know what to do with setups. I'd be one of those people that just buys from someone who knows what they're doing.
Right, yeah.
We do. Like, for me, no. Like, I don't know. I don't even know, like, I watched the Chris Hay videos and I'm like, oh, I get the concept of all these. And then I get in the car and go, but I don't know what I need to adjust based on what I'm feeling. I have no idea what's going on right now.
That is the skill, isn't it? It's being able to feel the corrections that you need to make through a steering wheel.
Yeah, like you can understand the concepts and everything, but if you can't really feel what you want the car to do, I guess you're kind of stranded. Let's see. I don't think I'm gonna catch 4th place, but
Okay. I'm up a little bit here, up 3 tenths.
looking at the times and I'm just about to go into a wall because of it. Did I seriously improve my time by 0.001? Oh yeah, Jason Bourne time.
Nice. That is some crazy consistency there, Chris. Right, come on. Where's this going to put me?
If only my consistency
P2.
was 3 seconds faster.
Right. I'm coming for you, David Christie. Tell you what.
So Tom, who's our first guest?
I would say again.
Who's our first guest?
Ooh, good shout. I've got a list of people to contact. We've got a lot of friends that we speak to a lot who would be great guests. We're going to try.
Has anyone confirmed yet, or what's the short list for the next episode?
So the list does exist. That is it. I have not yet sent out. I have not yet sent out the inquiries. So we have a list of dates now. So I'm going to send out that list and see who wants to come and do some racing with us.
Yeah,
I tell you what,
be a lot of fun.
Yeah, the casual thing. I need to remember the casual thing.
Well, the problem is
I guess
that
so competitive.
in your mind, you're sitting in a race car seat, and like you have, I don't know, it's just one of those things where like even when I play shooters, like you and I have played Call of Duty together, and I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna get on for a couple chill games, and by the end of it, I'm like
sweating,
competitive,
blisters on the hands,
like completely being as competitive as possible. And I don't know, it's just there's something about like video games and just the overall competition of it that I don't know, my mind just doesn't go casual with it for some reason. You know?
No, I also struggle with that. I really shouldn't. I'm gonna enjoy this race. I'm gonna just make sure that I don't crash anybody off. That is the most important thing.
We'll see if you end up in the sand or in the gravel. And then we'll see what your facial expression looks like after that.
I know, right? Chris, fuel.
Oh, well, I'm already out here.
Don't forget fuel. You can still do it on the grid.
Can you?
Yep. Yep.
What do I have to hit?
I've gone up to 15 liters because race time is 30 minutes. It's about a minute a lap.
Back to pits, or do I?
Oh, you might need to start from pits then. How many liters do you have in the car?
I don't know.
Starting from pits might not be a bad thing in this race.
I'm good. We're casual racing, right?
Oh yeah, that is true. So yeah, I think I've got about 35 liters of fuel, or 35 laps worth of fuel. Right, here we go.
And go.
Oh, hello. There's lights out and away we go. God,
59. What are you doing?
Car.
You have a different car than we do. Okay.
Oh my god. Tom Farrell has got a rocket ship up there.
Yeah, what's going on up there? How's that happening?
Oh.
Look at this tight route. Oh, man. There's a lot going on in front of me right now.
Woo!
Stay clean, fellas. Come on. This is actually more amusing than my own driving. I'm kind of like barely paying attention.
I'm looking in the rearview mirror a lot.
It's so tight right here. Oh, they came in contact?
Look how far. I can't even see Tom right now. Oh, Fulvio has overtaken David.
He's got a different
no
engine.
Idea.
Did he do an engine swap? Did he get a grid penalty for that?
Right. This is going to be intense.
Oh, this corner's going to be a bear with...
Oh, he's done me.
Give him room. Oh, nope, he's behind me. Never mind. I forget that the radar is a thing.
The radar is very handy.
Although
with these cars, it's very funny because you see the cars zigzagging all over the place, a lot more than you would on a normal radar for other cars.
I looked at my rear view at the most inopportune time and then ended up way deep.
Oh, David! Having a great battle here. Oh, he's done me.
Oh, I missed the gear.
I'm going to get his slipstream. Come on. I don't know if I want to overtake him into Haddock Pill Bend.
I think, is that turn 1 or 2? I don't know.
1.
I refer to things as numbers, and sometimes I don't even know that.
Oh, I missed the apex there. Right, David, I'm coming for you.
He's going to pass me now. I can't seem to put a clean lap together. Where is he at? Slip sliding around is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, I can see you back there. Looks close.
Yep. He's making me nervous enough that I have to check my rear view constantly, and then I end up too deep into a corner pretty consistently.
David is fast.
Oh, you followed me. Who was that? Oh no. Let's put a couple clean ones together. Although my best lap during the race is 102. It's not like I'm driving terrible.
It's decent. I have no idea what mine is. Right.
Okay. We're gonna put some good laps together. Here we go.
I feel like this is, I'm driving these minis like I used to drive the Mazdas in iRacing, which is just so gently, just, you know, just don't crash it, don't spin out, don't wheel spin, don't lose the rear end, just survive.
Well, you're so worried about your I rating, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. Oh no, I'm going in hot here. Oh, with the gravel. Oh no.
Oh, I turned in too early.
Right, Antonio Correa.
Did you hit the gravel?
Yeah, I went far too heavy into the turn one there.
Whoop. Oh, avoided. I'm Jason Bourne.
Right, Antonio. I'm gonna pick my moment.
Is that you right ahead of me? Yeah. It is.
Yep. Yeah, I lost lots of time.
Well, the gravel's not typically your friend.
Nope. Right, I feel like me and Antonio are gonna have a good scrap here. We feel like we're quite level. I've also realised that Tom is going to be coming around lapping us fairly shortly.
Yeah, how's his car so fast? He's cheating. I'm calling it.
Yeah, it's one of those.
He took off like right at the beginning.
Good. It's one of those moments when you realise the delta between yourself and people who are actually good at sim racing, right?
That's true. That's one thing that's good about things like iRacing, though, is because it puts you against people so you don't just feel like you're getting stomped on all the time.
Yeah, you always have an opportunity to do well.
Because, like, AC, while it's my favorite racing game, the one thing about joining servers is you're like, there could be an alien in here that's just amazing.
Yeah, you have no idea who you're racing. David is up there for the podium right now.
Getting all serious, trying to catch you. It's not competitive, right?
I'm chasing after. I'm actually watching my Delta versus David rather than Antonio. I'm catching slowly. Oh, not too deep again.
Have you ever played the Forza Horizon games?
No, I haven't actually. It's a bit more kind of.
It's super casual.
Mod and lots of free roam modes, right?
Yeah, the free roam thing is pretty fun. Like, the racing doesn't feel realistic at all, but for a fun arcade time, kind of a la Cruisin' USA style or something, like, it's a good old time. I haven't played 5. I played a lot of 4, and I really enjoyed. Like, the rally racing in that game is so much fun.
There's some crazy maps on Assetto Corsa, like modded maps. Like is it Shutoko Revival is always like the most popular server on AC.
I don't think I've ever.
It's just like, yeah, it's like a big kind of, I think it's like a Japanese style, just street map that you just drive around. Essentially like a street version of like the Nordschleife lobbies.
That's pretty cool. Because I used to love games like Midnight Club. I don't know if you ever played those games. Midnight Club, Need for Speed Underground, stuff like that. Those were like, I was addicted to those games.
To this day is still probably one of my favorite games.
Yeah, they really went the other way with that after that one. Like, that's the one where you could do all like the magazine cover shoots and random stuff.
Yeah, it was just so good. I loved all the like doing your own liveries and stickers, and the races were obviously very arcadey, but they were fun.
Yeah, like there's something to be said about just an arcade experience, you know? Like the one thing that's funny though is have you ever gone to like, I don't know, just one of those big arcades, cuz basically they have adult arcades which are bars and pizzerias and stuff now, and driven one of the arcade simulators?
Yes. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
used to be like the king experience of driving, and now when I sit in those I'm like, this is
Where's the force
worst.
feedback?
Like what is going on here?
Yeah, that is so true. And the pedals are just so loose.
Yeah. Oh,
But I mean,
come on,
for the
save
target
it. Stay
audience,
on.
it's totally fine, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't want to have it be ultra simmy. Have you ever put on just a, I guess it's hard to say, but normal person, I guess, that doesn't sim race on your sim rig,
A non-sim racer. Like
and then just watch them floor it into a corner and just fly off and go, what?
Yes. I do that with friends on my own sim at home all the time. When they're kind of like, oh, how difficult could it be? Well,
They're like, I can drive a car. And you're like, okay, let's put you in. Let's see what you do. And then they always just go way too deep into the corner every time.
Mm-hmm. Right, I am not catching up with David right now, but I am catching up with Antonio.
Oh yeah, I've put together a stank of a lap, so I just got past.
Or a bad lap. Oh,
but that's okay. I wasn't able to catch up to you guys anyway, so maybe it'll be more fun now, so that I have someone to race. Whoa.
right, Antonio, come on.
Do your pedals have 3 or just 2 pedals, Tom?
I have 2, and I'm actually using the clutch for the first time, maybe ever. It's really helping. Even though I'm on a flappy paddle gearbox, it's really helping to put the clutch in when I'm shifting.
Well, it makes it shift faster too, doesn't it?
Maybe.
Because I noticed how slow the shifting was when I was gonna try the paddles. What am I doing? Caught it. Kind of. We just pinballed off the wall.
That counts. Ooh.
I was talking about arcade racers, and I wanted to make it an arcade racer, so I was like, well, let's just pop off the wall here. The one thing about this game is that obviously my PC starts to heat up with it, and it gets to like, I swear, 90 degrees in this office, even when I have a fan and the door open and everything. That's the one bad thing about it. So like
so this is the most demanding sim racing game you have?
No, it's just probably combination of the game running, me being competitive, and
it's the body heat.
Like
the
actually
body
having to move my body and everything too. Like a normal video game, I'm not really
right. It's
like,
it's the body heat that's being generated by the tackling of that force feedback on your DD2? 1? Right, Antonio.
Not bad.
Slowly finding my
Kind of
rhythm
feel like I
here.
should pit, but I'm just gonna embrace the damage.
You have damage?
I pinballed off a wall.
Oh, yeah, okay, that'll do it. Antonio is really upping his pace. I keep going faster and faster every lap and basically maintaining the delta with him. Oh, I've got a blue flag!
Oh. Nice.
Right, come on, Antonio.
Are your pedals load cell pedals on that thing?
Yes, but it's not a Fanatec, it's Thrustmaster TLCMs.
Oh, okay.
They are really good.
You said that
less than Fanatec prices. So
where was it where you got to drive the Husenfelds or whatever they're called?
Oh, at the Nürburgring for the Sim Racers Expo. That was such a good weekend. was so much fun. Yeah, and getting to test all that stuff out was a lot of fun.
So, are they $1,500 worth of difference? That's the question.
I'm not sure. It's one of those questions
Really?
where it's like, if you had $1,500 that you would spend on gaming anyway, then perhaps. But if you don't, then definitely not.
Yeah.
Wow, he's so fast.
I noticed a big difference when I went from the G29 to the Fanatec stuff, but that's like going from a toy to like a real sim setup. And then,
Right.
you know, you can go next level and you can spend $5,000 on a sim rig. And I'm like, I don't know. It just seems like a lot. But I guess you can also competitively sim race and like make money doing it too, right?
Yeah, I do wonder how many people have actually done that, like worked out the investment in sim racing versus like prize money and worked out if they've actually made a profit from it. I imagine it's a very, very small amount of people. Yeah, and there is your count of one. Bloody hell.
What?
I'll do it.
Holy cow.
Oh, followed Antonio. But Antonio has managed to avoid the gravel, and I have not.
Oh, did you follow someone too deep into a turn?
Yep. Oh, Chris, this is exactly what we feared. You and I at the back.
Oh, yeah.
Also, I've just been lapped by second position Fulvio. Right, we got some serious catching up to do here.
Oh, yeah, I did. I hit that wall pretty hard when I hit it, so. I should probably pit, which maybe I'll do that this next lap, because I'm in last anyways. I may as well get a fresh car, right?
Right. Do you know what would be really cool if you get a new paint job as well? But like a whole new color.
Just in the middle of the race, you're like, I don't want to be red anymore.
Oh,
Make me blue.
Blue. I would love to see the hotkeys that you'd have to map for that.
I still don't feel like going in there.
Oh,
Yeah, we need to do a rally race.
That would be fun. Oh, like Rally Cross. I wonder if there are any Rally Cross games. I think there's a mode on WRC 10 where you can, or maybe it's WRC 9 where you can do Rally Cross, but it's not that popular, you know. You think
Really?
it would be.
That is surprising, actually.
Like Rally, but just not in stages.
Oh, man. Come on. So what's the next big event for the racing team, Motorsport?
This Thursday, we're off to Cadwell Park.
Is it going to be streamed?
Yes, it is. So, well, I say Thursday. Thursday is the day that I have in my mind because that's the day that I'm driving to the hotel. But Friday is actually the test, but actually Friday isn't streamed. So Saturday, I should say, is the next big event, which is the race, which is being streamed. So yes, Saturday, Cadwell Park, Enduro car. That's going to be fun. Whoa!
Where does that stream on? Is Enduro Cars like official YouTube or whatever?
So the series is run by an organisation called MSV, so Motorsport Vision, and they have their own YouTube channel, which is called MSV TV. But we usually put the links up on the Grid Finder social media channels when we go live.
Right. The one thing that I wish that series would do better is follow more of the racing. So they follow positions 1 through 5 a lot.
Right.
And I wish they would mix it up a little bit, because obviously, like, yeah, you want to see the race for the front, but there's some really good battles and stuff happening other than the front too, you know?
That is very true. Yeah. I think that was actually commented on last time, so maybe they'll mix that up.
Yeah. Because, I mean, the Grid Finder car got most of its coverage because you guys ended up in second place for a couple laps.
Yeah. And then right at the end of the race, we were holding up first place.
If you can't get to first, hold up first for coverage.
Correct.
I love it. The Grid Finder Racing team does pretty good too. I'm very impressed with their results that they've been getting.
The Simracing team.
Yeah.
They are incredible. They are incredible.
Those
That's
guys,
such a nice group of people as well.
Those guys are fast.
Yeah. Tristan is a great team captain. He is putting together a great ethos in that team.
Yeah,
Everyone
they're
is
not
very
quite
engaged.
They're not like Tom and I right now being in last place in a social race. They're fighting for first places and stuff.
Yeah, like the RCI 6 Hours of Kyalami. They should have won that race, but they got a drive-through for something and then ended up third.
Yeah.
Third and fifth. So they got pole position. And then because of various events during the race, they got P3 and P5. And they got fastest lap.
Yeah, they're putting in some serious work for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a watch if your sim racing is one of your things that you like to watch, for sure.
We should get Tristan on the stream with us.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, he'll definitely be one of the guests. Another thing we do, I don't know, did we announce my hot lap challenge on social? I don't remember, but
no, I don't think we did.
If F1 cars are your thing and you like to do hot laps casually throughout the week, I run a WSS series for hot laps for each of the Grand Prix. Tom, didn't you place really pretty well last time?
I came 9th, I think.
Yeah, so top 10 is definitely good.
Yeah, I was pretty happy with that. I got a bit into it, actually. I'm quite addicted to shaving off the tents.
Hot laps are fun because, you know, just like I said, I'll throw on a movie on one of the screens and just kind of zone out for a while, enjoy just racing. And it's something that, because you can have unlimited runs and you just can log in for like 10 laps and see if you can beat your best time and then move on. You don't have to sit here for a while, but we couldn't find a good Miami track. Does anybody know of a good Miami track for AC? I would love the community to help us find one, because I was going to set it up for
building one this week, surely.
Well, there's one out there, but all the comments that I read said that there was a bunch of glitches in the track that made it. There was like invisible walls on the track and stuff, and I didn't want to put
one thing you don't want on a Formula One track is an invisible wall.
Exactly. Like they were complaining that at one end of the start there was just an invisible wall that you would just smack into on your laps. So I decided not to start it this week because of that. But if we can find one that's a legitimate reproduction that's reasonable, then I'll throw that up together.
That would be very cool. I'd love to learn the track, because it's going to be one of the only tracks that I watch on TV that I don't really understand because I haven't raced it.
Well, the neat thing about those, and the reason that I started doing them for myself, was because it gave me a much greater appreciation for just the Grand Prix in general, because I'm like, oh yeah, I struggled into that corner too. Not that, you know, not that I should be comparing myself to Formula One drivers.
As long as you don't do it the other way, which is like, come on, Daniel Ricciardo, that corner is easy.
Right.
Why do you keep losing half a tenth there?
What's wrong with you guys?
You need to try harder.
It is a lot of fun to just kind of, I don't know, feel like you drove the track too.
Well, that's why the game should be incredible, really. Like, it has all the potential to be such an incredible, like, iconic racing game. Given how popular F1 is, given how much of a storyline there is you could recreate, like, given how much fun the racing is and how much they can, like, recreate inside the cockpit in terms of the ERS, DRS, etc.
I think they missed a little bit of an opportunity with not letting us, like, literally create ourselves and go through like F3, 2, and 1, and then also be able to carry our like race history from game to game.
That would be cool. Like
So you
a
could
proper
see,
like
like-
career mode, but that spans years.
Yeah, and it's you. Like, so instead you make Tom instead of being, you know, the
Devin
fake guy
Butler.
the Devin Butler guy, or just becoming one of the other racers. Like, it would be really cool to just take over and be on the team.
That would be very cool.
And then, like, you
Quite
can
excited for
do
the
contract
F1
negotiation
manager
and
game.
stuff.
Yeah, well, the F1 Manager game's coming out.
They've had that
That'll be
on mobile for a little while.
They have.
It hasn't. I mean, it's not anywhere near what the game is going to be now on consoles and PC. But they still had it. It's kind of a neat concept.
This has not gone well. Gravel trap again.
I'm really enjoying the fantasy league this year, for no other reason than I'm making the correct picks and I'm doing really well.
You are doing incredibly well, actually.
So I'm very happy with that. But I like the grid revel system, actually. I wasn't a huge fan of the F1, the official fantasy league stuff.
It was very basic, wasn't it? There wasn't a huge amount you could do.
Yeah, I kind of like the whole grid rival, like you lock in your drivers for a set number of races before you can trade them without a penalty.
Right, you have a contract with them.
Yeah, I'm a fan of that. I think they did a really good job with that concept. One
I
thing
got
that I've
caught
always
out by
thought would
the
be...
one race rule.
Oh, yeah. One thing
So
that I
I'm-
always thought would be kind of interesting is if, like, let's say you started a season, a grid finder season, and it was a bunch of racers from the community, right?
Mhm.
And then you were able to create your own fantasy league on something like Grid Rival. So you put in the roster, and then, like, fans of that league can pick the roster. So, like, the Grid Finder Invitationals, for instance, we have a season of 6 months or something like that where it's one a month, and people could pick teams for fantasy leagues. I always thought that would be kind of interesting.
Tom O'Farrell has lapped me again. I don't know how he has such control over that car. It's incredible to watch as he overtakes.
We're going to have to decide on the car and the track super early again. And then I'm
Yep.
actually going to have to put some real time into it.
So we can practice.
I mean, you and I race fairly frequently now.
Yeah. Not frequently enough, though, by the state of this performance.
Just next time, do a secret balance of power so that everyone else is slower.
Why didn't we think of that this time?
And then the podcast's hosts have 50 more horsepower.
Yes.
Everyone else is in classic
All
minis
in
wearing
the name of
Mazdas.
entertainment. I can hear the cries of, that's what F1 is anyway. It's rigged. It's rigged for entertainment.
This year's really,
Ooh.
really changed things, huh? How you feeling about the Mercedes? Like, did they just not get to build the same car with the same specs or something? Like,
They'll be back. They'll be back. You mark
they'll
my
be back,
words.
but it's so weird that it's taking so long in my mind. Like, Christian
Ooh.
Horner even said that, you know, he's like, they still know how to build a car. Lewis still knows how to drive. They'll be back. Like, they'll be fine.
I've been lapped by Fulvio again. He's also rapid.
I gotta be honest, I am liking Haas being a little bit more competitive this year.
Yes. Me too.
Being an American team, you know?
I was really pleased to see Kevin Magnussen back. What a nice guy.
Oh yeah, the moment he was signed again, I picked him up in the Grid Rival League. He's been my what's it, bonus driver, or what's
Oh,
the
right. Yeah.
March driver or whatever for double points or what have you?
Like Turbo Driver, like, or the equivalent of Turbo Driver.
Yeah,
Whatever that was on the F1 game.
yeah, he's been doing really well for me. I would like to see Mick pick up some points this year.
Nick.
Mick.
Oh,
Shoot.
Mick. Ooh. I thought you meant as in Latifi.
No, nope. Talking about Schumacher.
Yeah, that would be very cool. I'd like to see Norris win.
Oh yeah, I'm a big fan of Lando Norris because he streams on Twitch, and I watched a clip once, and it was hilarious to watch him play F1 2021. So I started watching him when he plays racing games, and it's just amusing. Because it's hilarious. He won't race really well in the game, but you're like, he's an actual F1 driver. What the?
Yeah.
You expect him to just get in there and stomp on people, right?
It must feel so weirdly different.
It has to. But it is very amusing to watch him play. That's for sure.
Oh, I'm catching up with somebody, finally. Antonio Correa must have had some kind of incident. Oh, I've only got 1 minute and 15 seconds. No! To catch up 3 seconds. I thought I was going to have a last lap battle. .3, 3.2, 3.1.
So other than sim racing, what are your favorite types of video games?
Oh, I'm a bit of a nerd. I like the old strategy games, the old PC strategy games.
Like, throw some names out there.
Age of Empires.
Okay.
Total War. Those sorts of things. Those are fun.
Okay.
Although I haven't played in ages. I do quite like a bit of World of Tanks. Nikhil, one of our developers, directors, co-founders, teammates. He is a... is this guy stopped? Has he stopped? No. Oh, am I going to catch him on the last lap? Has the race finished? No, 10 more
10
seconds.
seconds.
He's a big Rocket League player to the point of having actually won thousands of pounds at tournaments.
I actually love Rocket League, but only in the casual sense.
Yeah, I think he said he fell out of love with it.
Wanted to hit the sand one last time before. Oh, goddamn. Sorry.
He was on the final lap. There's a small chance I might catch up with Antonio here.
I'm a first-person shooter guy, pretty much exclusively.
You are very good as well.
Well, thank
I'm
you.
Feeling very safe playing Warzone with you.
Yeah, it's funny because I kind of fell out of love with Call of Duty when they came out with the new map for Warzone. And I just went back to it recently, and my daughter was like, I thought you hate that game now. And I'm like, girl, I've played this game longer than you've been alive. It will probably always be part of my gaming routine. I don't think I'll ever fully abandon it.
Oh, I'm a little bit gutted here. I'm catching up to Antonio, but it's too little, too late. My lack of consistency through the race has doomed me.
Just trying to relive Jason Bourne, that's all. Don't worry about me.
Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
Difficult. It was a challenge.
I forgot how much I love driving manual transmission in sim racing, honestly.
Hello, David. A good race. Oh, Mike, if you're able to, nice. I would love to see some replays of any of that race, but from inside the cockpit so we can look at the driver. Because it's freaky.
Oh, yeah, the driver position and everything that they have going on, that was ridiculous. It had us, when we were doing the tech test and everything like that, it had all of us just rolling laughing just because of the general position of the driver is so ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's just
very, very creepy.
It's absolutely...
It's the broken wrists.
Yeah, the broken wrists get me, and then like the general, like the seat and where his legs are in relation to everything just is terrible.
Right. So I have just realized something. So
go back to your desk.
I'm going to go back to my desk. Okay, I've just realized that P1 and P2 we're actually in different. We're the only two people in the Mini Cooper S FIA App K historic racing version rather than the Group 2.
Ah. So you gave them a faster car. Those were supposed to be our cars, Tom. It's not bad. What was my best time? 102.204. Okay. Yeah, I was the slowest driver. By like a whole second. Not a whole second, but almost a whole second. That's okay. God, look. Yeah, here is the view of the driver. And it's just absolutely ridiculous. The way his knees are in between his elbows when he's driving, his wrists are basically broken the whole entire time. That is hilarious. He reaches down to shift and he doesn't even grab the shifter. He just kind of generically shifts. It's hilarious. Tom, do we have audio for you? Are you here with us? His blank stare would look like it would it be a no? But yeah, it's just so... The position is so awkward and gross. Look at where the wheel's placed, too. I wonder if minis have the ability to adjust the steering wheel, because that looks like the most uncomfortable placement for a steering wheel ever. It's almost like you would need one of those truck driver knobs just so that you could turn comfortably instead of having to, like, act like it's a water meter shutoff valve. Like,
I just love the simultaneous appreciation and complete disregard for detail. So what I mean by that is they have that detail in there that the steering wheel, that the gear stick like vibrates, right? 'Cause it's an old car, it's straight on the deck, it vibrates, it's old. Love that. That's a great detail. But at the same time, they've also broken the driver's wrists and seem to think that that's completely normal.
Yeah, they're just like, well, just put the hands on the wheel anyways. Roland says that they were in the rally version, so that's why they were a bit faster. I didn't even pay attention to that, honestly. I just looked at them and I was like, oh yeah, whichever mini, they're the same mini, so I don't really care. So I went ahead and selected the Group 2 S1000 whatever. But that makes sense.
That is lesson learned for next time. We'll stick to one class of whatever we do.
Yeah.
We need to decide what we want to do next time.
Yeah, so I really liked the plain Jane car kind of a thing, not a supercar. I don't think GT cars would be the answer. Maybe, in the future as we do more and more episodes and stuff, but, a Mazda would be fun still, because I think everyone and their brother has driven the Mazda before because they tried iRacing once or whatever, right?
That's a good point. We know who would definitely come and join us if we did that.
I really like the Mazda at Laguna Seca. That's one of my favorite tracks ever.
Yeah, the corkscrew there is kind of a rite of passage. I really enjoy that track.
That's one. There's also, obviously, I like Nürburgring. That would be fun. What are some interesting cars to... Oh, what's that KTM?
The
crossbow.
The crossbow or the X-bow or whatever you want to call it.
That thing is so much fun to drive. That would be a good one.
That would be good. Okay, why don't we do that? Because also that is... Did you ever play the Assetto Corsa campaign? Like the career mode? Yeah,
yes,
so that's in that, isn't it?
Yes, it is. I think it's in like the second season of the career or something like that.
Yeah.
That's a fun one. We could also do a classic BMW. That would be fun. Like the old Foxy
the E30.
M's.
Yeah, the E30, the BMW E30. That would be good.
That's a good car to drive. That one would be a lot of fun on dirt.
Yes. We should also have a look at the next Enduro car race, see if it's anything close to a Sim Sunday, and then we could do the same track.
Oh,
so
that'd be good.
Alton Park or Well, maybe not Cadwell's so tough, but we could do Alton Park or something.
Alton is fun, yeah.
We'll definitely have to do it. We'll have to do a return to the Indy circuit of Brands Hatch for the IndyCar 500. Maybe we'll do it in some Clios or something.
Okay.
That would be very fun. I'm not suggesting we do 500 laps though. That would be outrageous.
No, thank you. That would be. By the end, we would just be silent. Like, what are we doing? Why are we doing this?
Also, I don't know whose point of view we're watching on the stream right now, but I'm going to assume it's one of the... Oh, I see. Tom O'Farrell. Well, okay. I think regardless of the fact that he was in a faster car, I think he would have beaten us hands down. Look at the control he has. Going around those corners, just like the inputs that he's putting into the car. Like you can still see that it's twitchy, right? You can see it's a bit squirmy. But that is day compared to the point of view that was probably on my car. Dave Christie taking some serious curbs.
If you're picking this corner, hopefully you don't go to my pinball when I just went straight into the wall. I don't even know what I was doing. I lost my train of thought for a little bit, and then all of a sudden I looked up and I was like, oh, I'm in the gravel. Oh, I'm in the wall. Oh well.
Right.
Look at that. That sucks.
So lessons learned then. Lessons learned from our first Sim Sundays.
Well, the first lesson would be pay attention to the car, because one of them may be more powerful than the other. But it sounds like we're going to pretty much just make it... We should just make them fixed setups and just have everyone on the same exact thing.
That's a good shout.
So next Sim Sunday is what date? I can't even remember the date of the next one, because the 15th of May is the next one. Thank you. And have we decided, Tom, what we want to do? Do we want to do Mazdas on the Laguna Seca?
We have not. Why don't we put a vote in the Discord?
Yeah, let's. So what we'll do is we'll put a vote in the Discord. We'll give probably an option of 3 to 4 tracks and car combinations. So we'll give 3 or 4 tracks, 3 or 4 cars, and then whatever gets the most votes, we would just pair the 2 top ones that were voted for, and that'll be the next track and combo. And you know what we can also do? Since we are in AC, we would be able to, for the people who can't attend the Sim Sunday, we can throw together a WSS hot lap competition with that exact setup as well, so that people can participate, put their time in, see where they would have been if they would have been able to the race.
We should do that anyway. We should do that before every race, so that we can do it on the lead up. So that if we want to do some practice, your practice is actually going towards something rather than just practice for practice sake, right?
Yeah, I can do that without a problem. I'll put it together on once we decide and get the votes in. We'll go ahead and throw that up there. Only if I can win them by being in last.
Yes.
So we're gonna have a guest on the next episode as well. So the format will be slightly different. You know, obviously we'll be learning about someone else in their sim racing life a little bit. But you know, if you have any questions that you want to ask us, or if you have any guests that you want us to pull onto the show potentially, you know, obviously you can tag us in social media, you can message us straight in the Discord, however you want to get a hold of us. You can send Tom a DM because he doesn't get enough DMs.
That is true. That is true. I get lonely.
Yeah. Tom, do you have anything else that you want to talk about?
Thanks to our drivers who registered on our SGP server and came along and drove with us. Thanks for lapping us so kindly. Full of respect for us as they waved past us so many times. Apologies to David Christie. I wanted to really have a good battle with him, and I just couldn't keep up.
Couldn't do it.
Must practice next time, and see you in 14 days.
Yeah, 14 days from now. So hit us up on social if you have any questions or have a guess you want to throw us. But that's it for this week.
See you later.
See ya.